I'm with Randy Hill with Vote to Reduce Debt. Randy, why are you in Iowa?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and I am a concerned citizen that is very concerned about the national debt that's spiraling out of control. At $17 trillion, it's a issue that's not only concerning to our economy, but it's also concerning to the future of our children. And as an entrepreneur, this came to light for me. You know, people have asked me, why are you interested in the debt and in the national debt? And it's something that has come to my recognition that it's something that's very concerning. It's something that basically our country is bankrupt, and that's why we're here in Iowa. Iowa is the proving grounds for the election cycle, and we are here to help candidates. We have a focus on 11 Senate races in the United States Senate, and we are focusing on Iowa first.
Okay.
So we're here to support candidates that share our same beliefs. We have a super PAC that we formed, Vote to Reduce Debt,
Okay.
and that's why we're here today.
Great. And you, in our meeting prior to this, you announced you endorsed Joni Ernst in the
Yes.
U.S. Senate campaign. What was the criteria you used for that endorsement? And when did you make that decision?
Well, we've just made it in the last few weeks. Our PAC is very new. The formation of our PAC originally, Ken Davis, a very successful Fort Worth oil man who is 88 years old, wrote a letter last year about his feelings about the national debt spiraling out of control. And so I was given a copy of his letter, and they asked me to come in and be involved with the PAC and serve as the president of the PAC. And so the reason that we see this as a big issue, and the reason that we've picked Joni is, as a businessman, I don't want to go into a business opportunity unless it's going to be a successful one.
Sure.
And we want to invest our dollars, we want to invest our support and our time into candidates that not only share our moral compass, but also they share our belief in reducing the debt. And so Joni Ernst has shown that she believes in reducing the debt. She will vote to reduce the debt in her role as a senator. And so we also saw that Joni was somebody who could win. And so that's why we're here supporting Joni.
Great. So as far as ways which people can reduce the debt, what are some policies that you would think, or that you would encourage those that you are supporting to be elected, pursue? Like, is there a particular plan that you have in mind, or
no? We are not trying to go into a planning mode of figuring out the problem. I know in business, from my career, from my experience, you put a group of like-minded people in the room with a problem, they're going to solve it. They're going to get it resolved, and they're going to tackle it, and they're going to go after it. And so being specific on ways that we can reduce the national debt, we don't want to get into that. We don't want to get into the specifics of politics of, well, we cut this and we cut this. One thing I do know is I'm very concerned about cuts. I'm very concerned about our military. We are basically bankrupt. Our country is bankrupt. We've borrowed more money. In my life, in my family, with my children, we have a family budget. If we have something that happens and we can't afford, we start making cuts. We go into our family budget and we cut out the things that we can't afford. And so that's the same way that we've got to do with our country. But we're not going to get into the specifics of here's our theory of how we can cut the budget and how we can reappropriate the money. We want to put people we want to put like-minded people into office, into the Senate, that can have a round table, and they can decide the ways that are best to cut this debt.
Okay. So, I know you're not necessarily wanting to dictate policy, but what about continuing to vote for the debt ceiling to be raised? I mean, is that something?
No, I don't like that at all. I don't like anything that's going to put us deeper in the hole.
Okay.
And so I realize that we have policies that, Medicaid, Medicare, those are things that are very important to our economy and also to the people in our nation. But I don't want to specifically identify things that we will want to cut, that we don't want to cut. We want to find candidates that have a chance of winning, that share our conservative beliefs,
Sure.
and that have a history of wanting to reduce the debt, and that will agree to take on our pledge of reducing the debt.
Okay. What have you been doing so far in Iowa to accomplish your goals?
We've really had a great trip so far. I'm not a politician, and the people that we've assembled in my team, we are not politicians. We're just concerned citizens. We're entrepreneurs. We're business people, and but since we've been here, we were at the machine shed yesterday, which is a historic place.
Yeah.
And we've been going around visiting with small groups. This is really a grassroots ground campaign for us.
Okay.
We're not going to be, super PACs have a history of negative campaigns on television. That's not something that I'm interested in being a part of.
Okay.
And so since we've been here, we've been going out and meeting with small groups, different people that share our beliefs, and people that we can help.
Okay. Great. So you guys mentioned during your meeting prior that you were doing some telephone polling, and
Yes.
with the Christian conservatives that you spoke to, 80% said the debt was their number one issue.
Yes, last night we started some phone polling.
Okay.
And we had a question of asking the criteria of what concerns these 100,000 people that we targeted last night in our phone polls. 80% of them, 80% said that their main concern is the economy, is economic issues pertaining to the debt and the national debt and spending, fiscal spending.
Okay, great. So some of these moving outside of Iowa, you're targeting 11 Senate campaigns. What are the 10 other Senate campaigns that you're working at? Have you made endorsements there?
We are developing that as we go.
Right.
As you may understand, we just launched our Facebook page 10 days ago,
Okay.
and today we're gonna crest over 20,000 friends, and so we are developing that.
Okay.
As we go. We do have already an identified 11 states that we're going to go, but that's not going to limit us there.
Okay.
Colorado is one of them that we really feel strongly about in Colorado. We also feel strongly about South Carolina and Michigan. And these are states that are key states to the Senate races that we really feel like that with our support, we can help these candidates get across the finish line.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.